Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife. You guys, our last video was kind of a big one for us.
Oh, what?
It was our 700th video we have uploaded here on YouTube. Now, over the last 700 videos, there's a lot of things that we have learned, and so we thought, you know what? Let's make a video talking about the lessons we have learned after 700 videos here on YouTube.
So while these lessons are things that we have learned from being on YouTube, they are also just sort of life lessons in general.
Yeah, absolutely. These are not going to be like only for YouTube creators, that sort of thing. These are things that we've learned while we've been on this platform, but really do apply to the rest of our life, and we think yours as well.
As we were talking about this, we have kind of narrowed it down to 6 big lessons that we have learned.
So we're going to share those with you. The first lesson, and this is a big one, and this is a lesson, actually I would say a lot of these are lessons we're continuing to learn.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
The first lesson has to do with finding the voices that matter.
Right. Here on YouTube and in life in general, there are a lot of people who think they should have opinions on your life.
Exactly right. Just go to the comments on most YouTube videos. And we've talked about this a lot, that this last year we've received more negativity, more hate, all that kind of stuff here on our channel than all of the other years combined. And it's really reinforced the fact to us that we need to know what voices matter and what voices to listen to.
I think that each individual's person, like their voice matters, like in general. But I think that when it comes to specifics of people's lives, maybe your voice doesn't actually matter.
There's actually something that Sherri saw on Pinterest earlier today.
Yes.
It was kind of interesting that Sherri said what?
Yeah, this morning I actually was just like browsing through Pinterest, and I don't know who wrote it. I don't know. There wasn't like an author listed, but it said, don't listen to criticism from people who you wouldn't go to for advice.
That is so true.
That's so true. Like, if I'm not coming to this person for advice on my life, why am I listening to the criticism they have on my life?
Yeah, here on YouTube, I know for us, it's been so easy to try to, we lend so much weight to voices that are critical of us. Not even critical, like just downright rude and angry and mean and trollish.
Negative.
Right? And so for us, what we have had to do is we had to be very intentional and say, okay, here's the voices we're going to listen to.
Right. And I mean, I'm going to insert here, I do think that it's important to note that while we do have a lot of negative comments, our positive comments far outweigh those.
100%.
And it's really easy to focus on those very few negative comments and those very few just trolls when we have so many other people like in the positive column that are just like, you guys are the best. And so it's really kind of easy to like focus on the negative, and it's a lesson that we are continuing to learn to just focus on the positive and really just have like those very few people who can actually speak into our life.
I think negative comments can feel like boulders and positive comments can feel like pebbles.
Right.
Right? And so it feels like one can crush you. And that's why it's so important to say, you know what, like, I don't listen to those voices.
Yeah.
As Sherri said at the very beginning of this, that as you go through life, you will have people who say things about you. You will have people who have opinions about you. You will have opinions. You'll have people who are just haters of you.
For no reason.
For no valid reason.
Right. Just because hurt people hurt people.
And the question is, who do I listen to in that?
Right.
Right? And so to have people in our lives that say, you know what, these are the voices I'm listening to.
Yeah.
These are the people that I go to. These are the people that to me matter, and I'm going to listen to their voice.
Right.
Because you just can't listen to everybody.
The second lesson we have learned and are still learning is redefining what success looks like.
Holy cow. When we started YouTube, we thought success was 2 things. It was views and it was subscribers.
Numbers, numbers, numbers.
Numbers, numbers, numbers. It was views and subscribers, largely because that, I think, is what is most celebrated on YouTube.
Right.
You know, you think of what YouTube gives play button for. It's subscribers, right? So what are the awards for? It's those things. And that's what we thought when we started YouTube, is that for our channel to be successful, we've got to succeed in these 2 areas.
Right.
Well, here's the problem with that. We are 700 videos and 5.5 years in, and our channel, to be quite honest, is successful in neither of those areas.
Right.
For as long as we've been doing this, there's a lot of people that look at our channel and would say, not a successful channel at all.
Right.
Here's the problem. We have learned that those aren't the metrics that are successful to us.
Right.
What's successful to us, and we talk about this a lot, is community.
Yeah.
Right? It's the people, it's the relationships we've made, it's the impact. It's that there are hundreds of you out there who have said, you know what, I was skeptical about a Disney cruise, I watched your video, and then I booked one. And it was the best vacation of our family's life.
Right.
That's success.
Yes. And we were just talking about this yesterday. We have a box of letters and cards and stories that you guys have sent us. We have it upstairs in our living room, and I was literally just going through it yesterday, and it was so much fun. I mean, first of all, to go through and read all of these other letters and, I mean, hear the stories and read the stories again of how we have touched your lives. That is life-changing for us.
Yeah.
And that's not anything that we take lightly. But then it was also so much fun to go through and just be like, oh, this was the first correspondence we got from this person and this person and this person who we now consider like family.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. I was like, this is the first time they wrote to us.
Yep.
And now they're like in our lives and their family.
To us, success on YouTube is that box.
Yeah.
Like, that's what success is. If you asked us, said, Adam and Sherri, you guys can have one or the other. You can have a play button from YouTube, or you can have that box. I am taking the box 10 times out of 10.
Because it means that we're actually touching people. Like, we're actually reaching people, and we're being a positive light in their lives, which is really what we said we wanted to do.
Yeah, there's actual impact on actual lives behind that box, and I'm just not convinced there always is behind a play button.
I think a play button is, it's not a bad thing, but I think that it can just be a number.
Yeah, 100%. So I hope someday we have a box and a play button. Let's be very clear. Sure. That would be dope.
Sure.
However, but we've had to redefine success, because for us, we went into YouTube thinking success looks like something that it is very different than today.
Right.
And so we've had to be okay kind of changing the metric that matters to us.
Right. And once we kind of had that shift in our brain, I feel like we are extremely successful
100%.
Because of the community that we have built, because of the lives that we are able to shed some light into that maybe just need some light. We are
succeeding in the areas that matter to us, while still failing in other metrics that matter to other people.
Right.
Which is crazy, right?
And I'm okay with that.
And I'm okay with that, because that's the thing, is we have to decide what are the things that matter to us, what are the metrics that we want for us. Missy is over here, like, rubbing her face against a plastic bag, not distracting at all.
Professional YouTubers here.
Professional YouTubers here, you guys. So that has been a constant ongoing thing, is just recalibrating ourselves, refocusing ourselves, and reminding ourselves what success looks like. Because here's the thing, there have been months that we have gone backwards in subscriber counts. There have been months that our views have been absolutely horrible. There have been months that, like, those metrics have not been successful. That's not what we judge.
Right.
That's not what we measure ourselves against.
Right.
The box continues to get more full with letters. The comment section continues to get more full with, like, amazing comments you guys leave us. We have so many emails and messages from you guys. So while certain metrics are not successful, to us, the ones that now matter are very successful. Yeah.
The next thing we've learned is that consistency is key.
Yeah, totally.
The first couple of years, we just sort of like, let's vlog today and we'll upload it. And then we would wait like 3 months and then let's vlog today and upload it. Like, there was just no consistency whatsoever. And when we started to be consistent with our uploads, that's when we saw, I mean, the metric grows that, you know, that YouTube cares about, but also the one that we care about. Like, when our community knew we were going to upload, you guys show up.
Yeah, consistency helped us grow in subscribers and views, but consistently helped us grow in community, right? Because, like, we had more people that we were now connecting with on a regular basis.
Right, and a consistent basis.
Completely, and I think that consistency matters both in life, obviously. I mean, that's just what a great personality trait to have, right? But also to remember, what do you want YouTube to be? I was just talking about this on Instagram Live the other night with somebody. They were saying, you know, how I'm thinking about starting a channel, how often should I upload? And to me, that's like, well, that depends on what you want YouTube to be.
Right.
If YouTube is a place for you to upload family vacation videos and, like, fun things you guys are doing, but it's really more for you and your network, your community, consistency doesn't matter at all on YouTube.
Right.
right? Like just upload whenever, when you have a video. If you want to see what YouTube could be, right? Like what kind of a community could you grow, that sort of stuff, then I think consistency does matter. Because again, as Sherri said, those first couple of years on YouTube, we were the most inconsistent.
Right.
And it shows
and it showed in the growth. Yeah.
Yeah, so for us, it was when we started being consistent, when we started focusing on that, that we saw everything that has to do with LeggLife really start to ramp up.
Yeah. The next one might be one of the biggest lessons that we have learned, and again, are continuing to learn on YouTube, that authenticity is super important.
I think we see a lot of times on YouTube where people play a role. Right now, I'm not knocking that because there are some channels that like it's built around a character largely.
Right. Which is okay. I mean, we watch those.
Totally. But like that's not us.
Right.
And so from the beginning, the question for us was like, well, what are we going to do? Right? What are we going to be?
Right.
And we just would say ourselves.
Right. And like, we named it LeggLife because we wanted it to show what our life is.
Yeah, and so we've tried to really be real with you guys, that we've invited you into good times and hard times and just all of that sort of stuff. We really wanted for you guys to feel like you got a good perspective of what our life is like.
Right, and I'm going to harken back to when my grandfather died.
Yeah.
For me, I think this was sort of a pivotal like brain shift in our channel. We had always been trying to just be like authentic, and when my grandpa died, I was not okay. Yep. And I was very not okay, and I didn't want to be in the vlog. I didn't want to pretend to like put on this happy face and just be like everything's fine, but I also didn't want to just do nothing but cry in the vlog, which was all that I was doing at the time. And so for him to just be able to be like, okay, well, Sherri's not going to be in this vlog because this is what's happening in her life. For me, it was very freeing because I was allowed to grieve as I needed to and not pretend that everything was okay. And
because we got a video to get out.
Because we have a video to put out.
Exactly.
And so for me, that was just, it was this like mental shift. Like, it's okay for me not to be in a vlog because I'm not okay right now.
Totally.
And the outpouring of support that we got from that, like, take what time you need, it, you know, like, we're so sorry, like, you know, it was, I wasn't looking for sympathy, but it was also, it was so nice that our community who cares about us was just like, it's fine, like, don't pretend to be don't pretend to be okay when you're not. Yeah, because I think that there's this perception on YouTube, not just among YouTubers, but just like for a lot of people, that, man, just like suck it up, like make content, like talk about, put a smile on your face, you're fine. Yeah, go back to the consistency thing. I think you said you're uploading 3 days a week, you know, you better upload 3 days a week. Right. But for us, we really feel the freedom to, when we need a break, when we need to not force a video to happen, when something happens and life happens, we feel the freedom from you guys, and we feel the freedom here on YouTube to not upload. Right, and I mean, when there's a week or two where we don't upload, we don't get these comments that like, well, you said you were gonna upload. Well, the comments that we get are, we hope everything's okay, take what time you need. And that's what crazy thing is, that so many YouTubers, like myself included, for a long time would be like, oh man, like if I miss 2 weeks of uploads, what's gonna happen to the channel, what's gonna happen to the subscriber base, what's gonna happen to like YouTube's algorithm, and they're not gonna show our videos to people, and like everything's gonna crash and burn, and like it's this worst case situation. But 700 videos in, and we have missed a lot. Can you imagine how many videos we'd have if we actually would have uploaded when we said we were going to? 3 every time a week for, you know, right. 5.5 years. But we didn't, and right. The worst case scenario has never happened. Right. Instead, what we've encountered is exactly what Sherri said. It's you guys saying, hey, you know what? I hope you guys are okay. Thinking about you. Just so you know, you guys are missed. Take whatever time you need. Like, right. You guys have responded in kindness when out of our fear, we're like, oh my gosh, people are gonna be so mad because we missed an upload. Right. So I think that it's really helpful just to be authentic with people. Share your real life and your real struggles and your real adventures and your real highs and your real lows. And I think that there's something that all of us desire to see that. Right. Because so much of the world that we live in just is absolute, like, fabrication. It's just fake. It's all made up. It's not real. Right. That when you get to see real people living their real life, Without the Instagram filters and without the whatever you have, you know, just to like the facades that you can put on.
There's something that you're drawn to. And the crazy thing is that for Sherri and I, it is so weird to us that you guys watch. Right. Because we really feel like we are the most boring, the most normal, the most like vanilla kind of couple. Right,
like I don't feel like we're actually interesting.
And so I'm just like, why in the world do you guys watch? Right? Like, what do you watch for? And time again, you guys tell us that you might have showed up because of a Disney cruise vlog. You might have come here because of a Disney video or something else. But what kept you around was this connection to us.
Right.
And I think that thing happens. I think that connection like that happens because of authenticity.
Right. And that's not something that we just take lightly. Like we take that to heart and we appreciate that.
100%. That's a gift that you guys have given us for sure.
Right. And kind of on that note, another lesson that we have learned is that true community can actually happen via YouTube.
When we started 700 videos ago, I never thought we would have anything other than viewers, right? And I didn't even know how many of those there would be. Like, I thought maybe family and friends.
Right, like immediate family and like our close circle of friends, because they have to.
But the thought of like, the thought of making friends and family with people here because of YouTube was not even on our radar.
No.
And here's what's so cool, is that it's happened in so many different ways.
Right.
I think the first taste we got of this was with a group, our Vlogger House group, right? I met them when I went to something called Vlogger Fair in Seattle. It was like a YouTube conference, YouTube convention. That's where I met Colin. It's where I met River and Allison. It's where I met Zoe. People who to us to this day are family.
Right. Yes.
And have been a part of our life.
Since then, before I even met them, we started this Vlogger House chat group, and I mean, it's not a daily thing, sometimes it is, but since Vlogger Fair, we have kept up this kind of running conversation, like checking in on everybody, how you doing, like we know where everybody is kind of in their life. We know big events, small events, like it's family. It's family, right?
Yeah, because of YouTube. So we first tasted family with other creators. And then the next experience we had was with people that we were fans of.
Right, like we watched them and we were fans of their channel.
Some of you guys will know Austin and Jess, right? We started watching them because of Disney cruise vlogs. And we were just like, man, what a cool couple.
They just seem like really nice people.
Yeah, and so we started watching them and then we got connected to them and now they're family to us as well.
Right.
It's so crazy. I mean, we've been in their home, like we text with them, we're in their lives, they're in our lives. They're people that we genuinely love and would drop whatever we had to in order to help them.
Yep.
And so then we experienced family with people that we were fans of.
Right.
Then...
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. It's like I'm selling Ginsu knives over here. But then we started to experience that with you guys.
Right. With viewers.
With viewers who started to become actual life friends and family with us. And obviously, I mean, the best example of that clearly is Auburn, Sarah, and Emma, right? I mean, Auburn spent most of last year with us. Right. But there's so many more of you that have gone from... This goes back to the box upstairs. We were going to the box, and there are people who we have letters and postcards and mail from before we had any sort of connection. We didn't know who they were at the time.
Right. We have postcards from Sarah dated February of 2019.
A year before we met them in person and knew they existed.
Right.
We have letters from Aaron and Ilona we just found. We have letters from Janice the Hansons, who you FaceTimed with earlier today. Like, there's just all of these people that they were a viewer of ours, and we didn't know they existed.
And they were just kind of a name in this special box. Like, we have this special box, but they were just a name in a box. Like, we didn't actually have, like, this connection, and now we do. And it's amazing to me.
That is something that is so surprising.
Yeah.
700 videos in that.
And so special.
Not only did we build a viewers, right? An audience. Like, we've built a community.
Right. We built a family.
That's crazy to me.
Right.
That has been one of the best parts of YouTube.
For sure. And the last sort of lesson that we have learned is that comparison kills.
Holy cow. This is a tough one, and this is another one of those ones that just has so much life and YouTube crossover.
Right, I feel like this is something that most people start learning in like preschool and just continue learning throughout their life.
Completely true. And comparison kills for a couple of reasons. Number one, I'll just start from the YouTube analytics side of things. As a YouTube creator, if I'm comparing the performance of my channel to another person who is bigger, who's been doing it more, who is just whatever, then I can start looking at LeggLife and be like, man, like they've been doing this for 6 months and they have 5 times the subscriber base we do. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? We shouldn't even keep doing this. Like other people are more successful than us. Why should we even continue?
Right. Or, I mean, not even if they've been doing it for a shorter amount of time, but like just channels that are bigger than us.
Totally.
Like,
get more views than us.
Right.
Channels that are smaller than us, but get more views. Right? You can always find a metric where somebody is outperforming you.
Right.
And if I compare myself to that, I beat myself up. But also, comparison not just to others, but what about when we compare ourselves to how our channel's done in the past? Because I can look at times when our channel was really successful, and I can be like, wait a second, we had more subscriber growth the last 2 years than this year. What's going on? People don't like our content. Maybe we've peaked already. Maybe this is on the downward trend. Maybe we shouldn't spend hours a week doing this. Maybe we, right?
Scrap the whole thing.
Scrap the whole thing. Because it's not just comparing myself to others, it's comparing myself to our higher times.
Right.
Comparison never, ever, ever ends well.
Right.
Right? And so that's why, going back to what we talked about earlier about like redefining success, instead, it's like, how are we doing with the things that matter to us?
Yeah. I'm gonna disagree just for a quick second.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Comparison is never good.
Okay.
Because we actually just a few minutes ago watched our first few vlogs, which I have not watched since we uploaded them in 2015.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm gonna say that comparing those vlogs to where we are now,
yeah,
we are doing better.
You're okay. Sherri's 100% right. I more meant like analytics and like numbers.
I didn't even show up until the 4th vlog. Like, you saw like a little bit of my arm, and that was it.
Our first few vlogs are so trash.
They're
Tonga
painful.
toast level trash. Sorry.
We were like crying laughing watching these.
So
and
bad.
Literally right before we filmed this, we were just like, let's just watch those just to see.
So,
and oh my gosh.
So I'm going to touch on what Sherri just said then. We'll get back to comparison. It is helpful to remember how far you've come.
Right, where you started and where you're at now.
That's right, to look back and be like, you know what? Like, I've gotten better in this area.
Right.
That's one of the things that I'm so proud of, and you guys say it all the time in the comments, is how when you watch our early videos and then you watch Sherri now, like you have so gotten more comfortable in front of the camera. And I know you're still super nervous.
Yeah.
Right? Like every single video, Sherri still feels this like level of anxiety.
Yeah, and I mean, just a little bit of like behind the scenes, most of the editing that he has to do is editing out like silences from me, because I'm not a quick thinker. Like I'm not right now, like I'm just like, bleh. I don't know what I'm trying to say. And so like, I'm a slow processor, and it's hard for me to know what I'm trying to say. And so a lot of his editing is editing out just dead silence, or like me just staring at the camera like I don't know what I'm trying to say, or him like helping me figure out what I'm trying to say. I'm like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, what? Please help me. And so I mean, he would have a lot less editing to do if I wasn't in the videos.
Well, and it's funny because, like, a lot of times, because I don't want to say you're unsure about YouTube, because you do love a lot of elements of YouTube. Right. But as far as, like, doing videos, like, it's funny because making YouTube videos is probably Sherri's least favorite part of YouTube. Yep. And there was a comment recently that was pretty funny. It basically said, like, Adam's, I don't remember what it was, something like Adam's really dominating. He always steps on Sherri, like, he never lets her talk. He always talks so much, you know, and I'm just like, yeah, that's because she doesn't even want to be in the video.
And because I'm just like, I need you to talk, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Please just take over.
It was so funny, Sherri and I talked about that comment, and we just like laughed at it, because she's like, yeah, I don't even want to be there. So it's like, well, that's probably why it comes across that way.
Sometimes I do. But not always, and honestly, and like, the fact that he talks, he carries the conversation is like a real thing, because I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't have words. It's also a gift to Sherri that I do that. Right. Because like I know Sherri, and if I was just like, all right, go. I got nothing. That's what I mean. Like, and so like I panic and my brain is just like, and we're done. Like my brain stops when he's just like, okay, go. Oh my gosh.
So funny. So back to comparison.
Right.
We're before this rabbit trail. I think that comparing like numbers or channel performance, right? Those analytics and those metrics, I think that those are just so dangerous. I also think, to me, I can compare quality of videos. I can be like, man, look at how good their color grading is, or look at how good their audio is, or look at how good like all of
their
those
transitions are. Like they have these fancy transitions.
Yeah, and so for us, we need to say, okay, like, yeah, they do that, cool, that looks awesome. Is that something we should learn how to do?
Right. Is that something that would bring value to our channel? Yeah.
Does that help us achieve the metrics that we're trying to achieve?
Right.
The things that we judge success by. Right, and so that's why those two things are so important together. What does success look like to you?
And then how do you reach that?
Right. But to me, comparison just. I have watched comparison. I don't want to say ruin, but almost ruin so many of my friends who have been here on this platform because they were creating things that were so great and that really mattered and that were inspiring to me and I know to others, but they weren't
to themselves,
but they weren't as good as somebody else.
Right.
And so they stopped.
Right. Or they weren't making as much money as they thought they should, or they, for whatever reason.
Yeah. I'm just going to throw this out there. If you're getting into YouTube to make money, go get a job.
Right.
It's the worst paying job you will ever make.
Correct.
If the goal is money on YouTube, go get a job. Don't do it. Don't start.
Don't make YouTube your job.
That is not the reason to start. If that comes along the way, that's awesome. We're very fortunate that every month we get a check from Google.
Right.
Like, we're very thankful for that. But if that's why we did this, we are wasting our time.
Right.
It does not pay that good, you guys.
It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't replace either one of our paychecks.
I know that, like, there are YouTubers out there with their cars and their houses and all that kind of stuff, but that is the smallest of small amounts. So get into it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Figure out the ways that you want to be successful, and then judge yourself by those metrics, and don't let comparison kill your motivation. Don't let comparison kill your inspiration. Don't let comparison kill your passion to create content on this platform and to reach other people, because...
And to create content that you care about.
That's exactly right.
Right.
At the end of the day, there are 700 things that you and I have created. No matter how many people watched those, no matter what the response was, how many thumbs up or thumbs downs they got, those are things that we have to be proud of.
Right. Like that our name is on them and we have to be proud of them. And if you're not proud of what you're making,
why
are you making it?
Yeah, 100%. So those are 6 lessons that we have learned after uploading 700 videos here on YouTube. Sherri Beth, I want to ask you, 700 videos in, how are you feeling with YouTube?
Well, I mean, like we said, I still don't really like shooting the videos. I'm not comfortable filming as comfortable as I feel like I should be 700 videos in. Can
I reveal a secret to them? We Marco Polo Justin and Lacey Zachman a little bit ago because I wanted to encourage them.
Right.
Because you guys won't know this, but this is the second time we filmed this video.
Yes, it is.
Because the first time we filmed it, it went so much longer than this video will end up being.
It was like 35 minutes and we rambled and our thoughts were all over the place. And
it was 35 minutes when the battery died and we weren't done.
We weren't even close to done and the battery literally died on our camera and we were like, well, crap. And we didn't have like another battery ready to go, which is also just an amateur move. Like, why? But yeah, like we Marco Polo'd them and we were like, hey, just so you know.
It doesn't get better.
It doesn't get better.
We're 700 videos in and we're still making mistakes like this.
Right, and they responded and they were like, yep, we made a video about 35 minutes and realized we forgot to hit record. Which has also happened to us.
Which has for sure happened to us. So there are a lot of lessons that we have learned on YouTube, good lessons and bad lessons.
Right. Hit record.
Hit record. That's it.
Have a list on your phone of what you're trying to talk about.
That is very true.
That helps keep your thoughts like succinct.
Very true. So Sherri, but you're still enjoying, what parts of YouTube are you enjoying?
I really love the community that we've built. I love the fact that I know that we have people all over the United States and other countries that would drop everything to help us if they could or if they needed to.
Yeah.
That to me is really special, and that's not something that we take for granted. I love that. Like, whether we've actually met them in person or not, I know that we have this group of people who would do anything for us, and vice versa.
I completely agree. I love, when I think of kind of answer that question for me, it's the box.
It's the box, right?
It's the box.
Yeah, I love that we have that box.
There's never been a hurtful or a harmful word that has been said to us on YouTube, and there's been some hurtful and harmful words said to us on YouTube, but there's never been a word that compares to that box.
Right.
Like, that box is our motivation to keep going. That box is our motivation to continue to upload. That box is our motivation for all of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so when I think about, you know, how I'm still feeling about YouTube 700 videos in, I think about our next 700 videos and like a second box.
Right. Like, is that box gonna get so full that we need a second box?
Like, that's what I think about. is that, you know, our channel still, at this point, 700 videos in, we feel like is still, it is informing people, it is inspiring people, and because of it, we're able to do more good in the world.
Right.
And as long as that is true, I hope we get 700 videos or 7,000 videos or whatever it looks like.
Right.
Because that's the measure of success for us here on YouTube, is a box with the kindest words from people that we didn't even know existed, but who have become family and who have become friends to us.
Right.
Because 5.5 years ago, we hit record on a trip to Hope, Alaska, and made maybe one of the worst vlogs that exists on this platform called YouTube. They're trash.
I mean, it's...
You guys go watch our first few.
I mean, please don't, but like kind of do, because I feel like you need to know where we started, because it's rough.
It's so bad.
It's rough.
It's
like,
so bad.
We were laughing so hard.
Oh my gosh. You guys, we've come a long way.
We have.
And that's a good reminder.
Also, my hair looks so much better than it did.
Also, I agree with that. Like, we visually, this is a positive. Right. 700 videos in.
You've lost a lot of weight.
We look better. Look at us, guys. It looks like we're posing for a thumbnail, but not really. Just.
I mean, maybe. I mean, really, like my hair. And granted, we were in Seattle, and it was just like a weird, crazy day anyway. But like, my hair was just a blonde, frizzy mess.
Yeah, and if you want to see,
like, what is happening to my hair? What's going on here?
If you want to see that, you actually have to go to video number 4 of LeggLife, because Sherri doesn't even make an appearance in the first 3 videos.
Correct.
I don't know. You guys, we've made progress. We've touched some of your lives. You guys have become family to us. And if that's what we've gotten after 700 videos,
I think it's a success.
It is 100% worth it. Yep. It's worth every hour that we've spent filming, every hour that we've spent uploading, every hour that we've spent responding to comments are all worth it if you guys are what we gained from this.
Right.
So, friends, we love you. Yeah. You guys know that. You're the best part of 700 videos. Those first few videos certainly are not the best part. You guys, we love you so much. We'll see you on the next LeggLife video.